Hey, Eric.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Hi, Monica. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. Eric, do you know Monica?
Absolutely. How are you, Monica?
I'm good. I'm pretty good.
I love Monica's plants. That's what I look forward to.
I know, right?
You see my background. Yeah.
Actually,
I'm jealous.
it's
You
said-
obviously have skill.
Oh, I have a friend who says so. She said, I don't know what's the difference between you and I because everything I plant never grew.
oh, it's that green thumb.
Yes.
It's that green thumb that you have, whatever that is.
That's it.
Do you also do gardening?
Right.
Say it again, Eric.
No, I think my thumb is turning greener. I'm trying to make it greener, but it's been brown.
Yes.
Hi, Paulina.
Still connecting.
Hi, Paulina. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, great. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you again.
You too. You too. I think a couple of I'm writing in the chat. Hi, Louise. Long time no see. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Good. I'm putting in the chat just something to start off as an icebreaker, literally and figuratively, icebreaker. What is your favorite summer cooling drink, meaning cooling you down or cooling you off or making you cool? I don't know. Any of those. Louise, it's nice to see you.
Thanks. Nice to see you.
And feel free, we're a small group, feel free to be unmuted if you want. And so just share in the chat. I'm gonna say for me, oh, iced milk tea.
The tea, or you can.
Hi, Sunju.
Hi.
We can't see you. If you don't want to put your video, that's okay, but feel free to do that if you want.
Okay. I'm here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
We're
everyone.
just in the chat where writing as an icebreaker, which is very good for a day like today, an icebreaker. What is your favorite summer cooling drink? It can be adult or not adult. Cool mint. Seltzer water and ginger ale. That sounds good too. Louise, do you make your own lemonade from lemons or lemon juice generally? Oh, you're muted.
Truthfully, I don't make too much.
We all buy it out, right? We don't make it
like
anymore.
the mint, one time I had a really good, and it was someone else made it, and it was incredibly good, but I didn't try to duplicate it.
Yes.
Foolishly.
Well, the watermelon lemonade also is something I've had the best with other folks where I've bought it. Iced coffee. Nice. Nice.
Is it cooler where you are now, Mara?
Not really. If you can believe it. There's something, it's very funny. For those of you who don't know, I'm in Portland, Maine.
Oh.
And there's a funny weather pattern where we can be 10 degrees cooler. That's true. But we could be exactly the same. Like today and yesterday and the day before, I think we were almost the same, 90s, high 80s. So I don't know if it's just the way the winds blow or what, but I like the hot weather, so I am not complaining.
How close are you to the water?
Very close.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That.
Very close. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, there's a cove that I can see from my kitchen window. Hi, Naima.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Naima.
Hi.
We are answering the question in the chat. What is your favorite summer cooling drink? Here's Sue. That can be any kind of drink. Hi, Sue. I think Sue is lemon juice. Yes. Naima, I was asking Louise if she makes her own lemon juice or lemonade.
Oh, okay.
Naima, do you make your own? Do you?
Yeah, I do.
That's what I maybe figured. Especially since you don't call it lemonade, you call it lemon juice, which indicates that maybe you actually make it yourself.
Sure.
We'll wait one more minute. These sessions are so short that it's always hard to wait for too many people, but we will do that. Can we just go around while we're waiting to just introduce yourself? I'm Moira. I work with the CUNY Central Office doing ESOL. And welcome to those of you who are not CUNY people. Welcome. We're happy to have you. I see, let's do it this way. I see Monica to my left.
Okay.
So if you don't see someone to your left, talk about someone to your right. So Monica, I'll turn it to you, and Monica, you can turn it to the next person.
Okay. Well, I'm Monica. I work with Medgar Evers. I teach literacy to incoming students, you know, get them acclimatized to reading and writing skills and some math, you know, and that's it.
Excellent. Nice to have you here.
Louise.
Hi, I work for the Sunset Park Health Council, which is an offshoot of NYU Langone in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. And I teach English to adult beginners.
Yes. Louise, who are you going to introduce, either
Oh,
left or right?
well,
Doesn't
I'll
matter.
have to go down, I think.
Okay.
Paulina?
Yeah, nice to meet you, Luis. Okay, I teach at BCC, Adult Learning and Training Program. I teach ESL levels 1 and 2.
Excellent. Paulina, who are you going to introduce or turn it over to?
Let me see.
Who can I see?
Eric. Eric.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Appleton. I work with Moira. I mostly teach math, but sometimes technology, and I live in Sunset Park. So nice to meet you, Louise.
What about your science chops?
I don't use them that much anymore, so mostly math these days.
Okay. All right. Eric, who are you turning it over to?
Naima.
Okay.
Hi everyone. My name is Naima Belmadani and I work for University Settlements. I teach ESL. Nice meeting you all.
Nice to meet you. Naima, who are you going to turn it over to in our Brady
Sanju.
bunch?
Sanju, you go ahead.
Sanju, you're muted also.
Okay, I'm Sanju. I actually, Naima is my colleague.
Excellent.
Work at the same place.
Nice.
University Settlement. And I also teach evening class at Queen's Library for
Excellent.
ESL, adult ESL.
Sunju, who are you turning over to? I think we have 2 more people here.
Okay, Elizabeth.
Hi. I teach at BCC. I've taught various classes there. This past semester, I was teaching an ESL level 2-3, and I also teach a higher level ESL class to adults at Fordham. And Sue, I think you're the last but not least.
You are
Okay.
here, Sue. Yay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just sitting in the dark. I work at City Tech and at Fifth Avenue Committee with adult ESL. I did teach at University Settlement for 1 year. I couldn't do that split schedule anymore. So
Yes, the running around is really tough. Elizabeth and Sunju look like they're in different spots in the world. I just am noting Sunju is cooling off by the palm trees. And I'm trying to think where Naima is. So we're going to talk about Google Slides. Hopefully we're going to create some Google Slides, even if you're at the very beginner level of creating slides. I don't mean beginner level of teaching that level. So of course, I'm going to use Google Slides to present so that you get a little bit of a feeling for this. I became a big fan of Google Slides after I began with Google Documents as my lesson plan, and I just would scroll and scroll, and these became my new best friend. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that very briefly, just to give you a little bit of idea. After we do a short warm up. So the warm up, you're going to talk to a partner for 5 minutes, but you're also going to be filling in a chart. Who is familiar with KWL? Raise your hand. This activity, KWL. I see Sunju is familiar. Some other people maybe are familiar. This is a pretty typical thing. But the thing about Google Slides is you could write it up here, right? Monica, what's the K part of KWL?
What you know.
What
do
you
know about the topic, any topic.
Right, any topic, exactly. Elizabeth, what's the W?
What do you want to know?
Uh-huh. And of course, Sue, what is the L at the end?
What did you learn?
Uh-huh. So I have made a Google document here, which I'm going to put in the chat so everybody can open it. So if you would open this document on your own screen, you should see the KWL chart. I'm going to open it. It should look like this. My computer today seems to be very slow. So we've got two columns here. One about what you know and what about what you want to know. Can we just alone individually start filling in the boxes with some information, and then I'm going to allow you to talk to a partner and you can continue to add things or just chat about what you know and what you want to know. So just go ahead, everybody can fill in for just a couple minutes here.
Not getting it. It's not. Mhm. I seem not to be able to fill in anything.
Monica, if you jump to another to pause it, sometimes there's a delay, and also if you jump to a new box, sometimes that can help. Sometimes people are competing for space, so try those two things. I am gonna put you into breakout rooms. So keep the Google Doc open for yourself. I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment. And I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Please continue to talk about what you know and what you want to know and adding to the document. But really, I want you to talk to folks because this is a great chance to do that. So we'll spend somewhere between no more than 5 minutes in the breakout room. Here we go. I didn't know whether to put you in a breakout room or not.
Probably best. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
best.
I was gonna do it, but then I decided not to. How have all your sessions been going?
Fine. In truth, I only had a couple. I mean, I did the Google Drive one last Friday.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. I mean, other than the ones we did together. I mean, and Mark did one on Desmos that I mostly just attended. It's actually been pretty easy for me. I feel a little guilty.
No, I mean, it hasn't been that challenging. I mean, I have to say, this last week, I did not hit the right note with this last week, so I changed it a little bit.
Oh, this particular workshop.
Yeah, you know, I think I don't know, maybe I was too, I don't know what it was, but it didn't, there was a lot more leveling and like, for example, Daphne was there, and not that this is a bad thing, but she really wanted to know about like how to do those post-it notes that Eric does. And I'm like, I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like a very specific thing that, and we didn't really
geez.
get to do some hands-on. So
I
that
don't think that
was,
was probably not Google Slides. It was probably Jamboard.
oh, because I was thinking, gosh, I don't even know about that. So anyway,
I've seen people do something similar to that, but it wasn't me because I haven't really taught with Google Slides so much. A little bit, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can get derailed by this. Trying to
I
define
know,
it.
I
Specific,
know,
yeah,
I know.
it's challenging. There
Yeah.
seems to be a fair amount of experience in this group.
I know, I was thinking that, which is kind of good. But what I ended up doing was when we go into, go to do our own thing, I actually made a short video that kind of walks people through so they can actually just watch the video if they want and walk themselves through it and do it if they're at that level. Like Monica, I think might be.
Yeah.
So, and then I can move from room to room, but I also have a lot of people who are like, I want some ideas. So, we have all of these available. There's no reason people can't steal slides. So, I'm just hoping that everybody comes away with. I had forgotten, I was actually inspired by your workshop that you did with Google Slides. I think it was version 2 with the bones. I went back to that one. I was like, oh yeah, I should have followed that format last time.
What was the format? I don't remember.
Well, you did some animation. It was just very simple. It was simple. Simple. Simple is always good. Simple is always good.
I mean, yeah, from beginning ESL and images and stuff like that.
Right. Right. So, yeah, I think I just want to simplify this a little bit. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Good, nobody wrote down there. I think I'm gonna close the breakout rooms.
I might drop off on Sam.
Okay.
I'm working on these videos for.
Oh, for the Peter Jennings. Oh my gosh, I feel bad because I don't really have anything that I can contribute, and I can't go because I teach at that time. So
it's in the afternoon. You saw?
Oh,
that?
It is?
It's from 3 to 4.
Oh, on next Thursday?
Yeah.
Let me look
That's
at my
it might
schedule.
not be exactly right, but it's definitely in the afternoon. It's like 3. No. Yeah, that's weird. I have it in my. It's like 3 to 4:30 or.
Clearly, I didn't pay attention. So.
Should ask Ramon to send the flyer around because he's got a registration link for it and stuff.
This is funny. Okay.
I will. But he got rescheduled. Yeah.
I know. I mean, I just imagine the morning. Right. That's all. All right. Okay, good. I think they should be coming back. 3, 2, 1. That's a nice face, Naima. Your little cartoon faces. Yeah. Okay, I have all your notes here. And as I said at the very beginning, an hour is not very much time, but we've got a lot of knowledge here, I think. And even if you don't have knowledge, we are really going to do some hands-on work, at least a little bit here. I'm curious about this one. I haven't used them for teaching. So I guess these two go together, can create slides, but haven't used them for teaching. Who is that?
Why you always pick on me, Moira?
Because I love to do that. I knew that instinctually, Sue.
That's me.
Okay. And so you anticipate, Sue, a sort of differentness of using them for teaching?
Yeah, well, right now, I mean, I did the workshop last week about folders because I've been using Word. I've been using Google Docs instead.
Uh-huh.
You know, and they just alphabetize themselves, but then like I have too many. Whereas if I had used
Yes.
slides, I would have something in a row.
That is true. I
Can't
mean, you
always
have to be
find-
very strategic about naming them still. I have found that probably I've named my class slides at least twice to make sure that they're in a row with the right information, like class 1. Do I write the number? Do I write the letters? So that's interesting, Sue, that you say that. So this one, troubleshooting when converting Google Slides to PowerPoint and vice versa. The PowerPoint to Google Slides, I have a video that I think is a really easy to watch video. We're not going to do that today, but if that's something you're interested in, that's another thing. Let me just ask, are there any other comments from you all that you want to just say about what you want to know and what you already know?
I have problems with tables, doing tables and so on slides.
In slides, I would agree, Monica. In truth, I think there are some things that don't translate as well. I am not an expert in Google Slides, but I think it's better. That's why I did it in the Google slide, the Google document, and just in the Google slide have the link to the document, right? That's an easy way that I do love about Google Slides, right? That you can embed all sorts of things that just link directly and go directly to what you want. Okay, so what I'm hoping to do today, we had our warm up. I want to talk briefly about the benefits and challenges just to give you an idea, Sue, that's kind of to your point. I know someone, I don't know who it was, said, I want ideas. Well, please steal the ideas from Google Slides. That's my hope. I don't need to be creating only for me and my classroom. And then breakout room time. And there's a demo on a video, and I will just jump around to the rooms. I'm hoping that we can make a simple 2 to 3 slide presentation where you can follow the video or just work on your own if you're already familiar, and I can help you do the work that you want to do. And then I have resources for you at the end. So just to start off, challenges of Google Slides. In truth, this is the biggest challenge for me, but it's just online challenge, I think. Right now, I can see 3 people, right? Or if I go to the bigger picture, right, I can see probably everybody in this group, but you know, every once in a while, I want to go back to this where I see everyone. So that's a challenge, just knowing how to pace that. And other than that, I don't find that many challenges with it. It really has been super beneficial for the purposes that I wanted for my teaching. So some of the benefits, focus, helps with pacing, sequencing, and scaffolding. You know, just being able to say, here's my agenda and keep it on that slide, and then not until I'm ready moving to my next slide, but seeing it on the slide. So that's a real benefit for me. Helps with repeated activities, which I'm going to show you just an example, but I also have presentations that you'll be able to look at and see more examples. Organized. My lessons are saved on Google Drive and they will be there for next year, whether we're online or not, right? So I'm very happy about that. The other thing that I love is inserting photos, both from my computer or the web, for example, and probably many of you already know this, but just as a quick example, you know, I can throw in a slide, a new slide here, quickly create one. I can go, and I'm going very quickly, but in the video that I have as a demo, I have this information. I can insert an image from the web. So I'm talking about, for example, the other day I was talking about herbs with my class. And so this is something you can't even do in the real classroom. You just search for a picture of herbs, right? And you immediately get pictures here on the side. My computer doesn't like that, but now it does. It's generating. So I can just say, oh, do you mean this herb, right? I insert the picture into my slideshow and we can talk about this particular herb, right? So that's one of the benefits that I see with the slides. So let's just talk briefly. Helps me stay focused, pacing, sequencing, projecting text and images, right? We just saw that with the image of the herb. So in that vein, scaffolding in class activities, this is an activity I did in January. Writing and partner talk activity about Amanda Gorman, and this was in 2021. If we remember the young poet, not yet a household name, but very interesting. So this is how I help myself sequence and pace myself. Okay, what do I want my students to do first? Before they look at the picture, I want them to write their questions in their notebook. So explicitly telling them that in the heading, but also explaining that this is a writing and partner talk activity, right? So your instructions can go here, and then just some simple things for them to write in their notebook. Take the time. This also is helpful to give them time to do this. And this is something we do as a repeated activity in class. So the other thing that I do after I think enough time has gone by, and let me just go out like this. So what happens in your class? You ask students to write and then you're ready to go on. What are two things that happen at that moment with your students sometimes?
Nothing.
Nothing, meaning what, Sue?
They just sit there and look at each other.
They don't finish the writing? They don't do the writing? Or they just wait for you to go on?
Well, I haven't done this exact thing, but you know, they're very shy. Some of them.
Yes. Yes. So you have to time it right. Do you ever have teacher? You go to the next slide. Teacher, I'm not done. Yeah. Okay. So you've got the slower or faster writers, right? I see in breakout rooms, especially for students on phones. Elizabeth, I'll get to that question. I'm going to put it in my head here. Probably you would share the link to the slideshow or to the group of slides that you want them to open. But if we, I don't know if everybody's learned this, but anything that's in presentation in the general group does not translate into the breakout room. You cannot do that. So you would be sharing a link. So the reason I'm harping on this is because if we go back right to the slide before, this is for a class that's my level 5 writing, but that's really an intermediate level. So this should not take them much time, but the focus is writing and they're slow writers, some of them. I'm ready to move on. So what do? I let the higher level students who are going to be bored if they're just sitting there tell me the questions, and then I'm checking a little bit for accuracy, and I'm also putting the questions back up for the lower, slower students, right? Who is in the picture, because the language just is going to come right back up on the screen. Everything that we just did in, right? I couldn't remember my own questions. Who is she, right? But the high students will know what the questions are, and we're just going to repeat them. And then the slower students, they'll just be able to take time to write while we're moving on at the same time. So that's good for pacing. Also instructions, look at the picture. Can you answer the questions? And I give them instructions to this. So in this way, it's different than presenting your information kind of slides. It's a way to really structure the instructions. So then you have the picture here, right? They look at it, they know the questions already. They've written them down in their notebook, so no need to have them looking at the screen, and they have time to go to their breakout room and answer the question. And again, this picture I drew right from the internet, right? Partner talk. We do this multiple times, so I just repeat and replicate this slide. So that's one activity, the partner talk, sort of leading up, and as you can see, very scaffolded, right? Write the questions, tell me what they are, let's talk about what you're going to do it, and then put them in breakout rooms. Any questions or comments or anything about that activity? Please let me know. I know you guys are there. Sometimes it's good to hear voices. Okay, another benefit helps with repeated activities like warm-ups and routines. And Monica, yes, please go ahead.
No, I was saying it was enlightening in a sense, because usually I should use my slides just for information, present information. But you are saying that we can use it for partner talk and
Sure. And I really,
that.
Monica, it's really good too, because what I find myself I've done over the last year is I reduce the amount of words, the number of words, one of those things that's my pet peeves, the number of words on the screen, because students can't take in so many words, right? So I'm getting better. I think that's also a benefit. I'm getting better at reducing how much text I put on the page. Warm-ups and routines, just to give you an idea, this is the slide that introduces every single class. They're welcomed to the class with a beautiful fall, winter, spring, or summer picture, whichever season we're in. Also, we're still learning on Zoom, and this is also something I show at the beginning of every class until we know it's okay. Images that can really explain those things that's hard to explain. How it's very funny that you have stop video when it's not stop video. I hate that, but more explicit here. And then the routine of this warm-up activity, which one is an ideal world for you? That was just a question I had. You can change this and say, tell me about your mood. So can we just do that right now? Look at the routines here. And my question for you is, how do you feel today? Choose a letter. Put it in the chat. Just Sue is C. Naima is C also. A lot of C. Yeah. D. So do a lot of people choose that one? They feel like they're climbing up steps. Some people say because I have a child at home too. I wish I were a. Louise is E. Okay, so this is a great also warm up routine community building activity. I did not create it. I got it from a workshop, a great workshop that I went to. Monica is also C. Great. Okay, so also classroom language, right? For low levels. This one is actually for a higher level, but you know, putting your name and just saying, please pronounce pronouns. Right. I do that with level 1 also. This one you can't get around. They have to learn it. What does it mean, right? So that's, and stretch. Hopefully you're stretching with your class, but I use this as a routine picture that I can just copy. And then it helps me stay organized on my Google Classroom. That's where I put my slides. My Google Drive, Sue, I was talking about naming them so that they're in a list. There's also this Wakelet, which I'll put this in the chat because this is where I save mostly for teachers. I had started for students, but students don't really go there. A Wakelet is just yet again another place where you can store information, and I put the Wakelet in the chat for you to take a look. Okay. So again, any questions or comments? The Wakelet, if we go to that very quickly, you can put questions in the slides if you're wanting to ask something. This might be something you do when we go. We're going to go into breakout rooms in just 1 minute. I think the internet is super slow today. My computer is also melting. So just so you know, add your name. It just means you're adding a name. You can just say frog, right? You can just say whatever. But by adding your name, you're including yourself in collaboration. It doesn't do anything except give you access to the Wakelet, which is where you can get slides. Slow, slow, slow.
Wakelet was actually having like a 12-hour seminar today.
Oh, 12 hours?
Yeah, I'd like people to pop in, I guess. I don't know if it like continues from where you hung up or not. I was just watching a few minutes
Wow.
of it.
So this Wakelet is my class slides. And again, if you're interested in taking a look at some examples of things of my writing workshop, I told you it was an intermediate level. We did the Amanda Gorman activity. So all of these you can look at and you can copy slides from all these classes on Wakelet, and all you need is that link. I'm going to be sharing all the resources at the end, so don't feel like you need to remember everything or keep everything right at the moment. So we're going to go back to that KWL document. I'm going to open it again, and if you still have it open in your on your computer, right? I'm going to give you 2 options, but whatever option works really well for you. Start your own slide presentation. And if you're feeling really like you're at the beginning or you really need a reminder of things, this video that I made takes you from soup to nuts, meaning you go from finding out where to get slides, how to make a slide, how to make a 3-slide presentation, insert a photo, change the layout of the slide, and do a little animation. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the chat. Feel free on this very hot day to just sit back and watch a video. With the video, you could also just be doing stopping and starting, right? You can start the video, say, okay, now I want to do it on your Google platform, and then move on when you're ready to move on. And let me know if everybody can open that that YouTube video that I just put in there. I'll put it in again. I just want to make sure everybody can open it.
I can open it.
Is it? Can everybody open that video?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So whatever way it makes sense for you to work. I hear myself. It's always weird to hear myself. It's Moira. To use the next, let's say 15 minutes,
Moira,
I'm going to put you each
a
in your
short
own breakout
demonstration
room,
of how to begin
and
a
I'm going
Google
to mute
slideshow.
everyone
If you're not ready to get
so
your
I don't
hands
hear
in it,
myself. Don't worry, I know it's hard to stop things once you're going. So we're going to take 15 minutes. Everybody will have their own breakout room. I'm going to jump from room to room to room. What I'd like to come back with is everybody has at least 3 slides put together. On the KWL, you can go to a beginner class and look at that and take some slides. This is a level 1, day 2 of a 12-week course that you can check out the Google Slides. So these are all linked on the Google document for you to look at and get ideas and maybe steal or take. They'll be available at the end of the workshop. So with that, I'm gonna, as I said, put everybody in a breakout room on their own, and I'm just gonna jump around to the rooms. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. First, so go to your Gmail and then up. Everybody's in a room, I think. Okay, great. Mhm. Hi, Sue. I just saw your note.
Hi, yeah, I can only open Wakelet in Firefox. I don't know why.
Yes, you know, it's getting more and more troublesome to open documents in Safari. I think Safari is going to go the way of
Really? Yeah, because
yes.
I originally like had my email, my Optimum in Explorer or whatever you call that. And then
Yep.
You know, now the
yeah, Explorer is also not good.
Well,
I
I
don't
know
know
it doesn't support, but so I've been using Chrome for everything, but now the Chrome some days
Ugh.
doesn't open my email either, and then I have to go back to the old
Yes.
one.
Sue, I'm gonna join Sunju. I'll be back in a minute. Hi, Sunju. Sorry, it took me 1 minute to get here. Tell me your
Okay.
question.
Oh yeah, I don't see anyone
That's because
Oh.
you're alone in your breakout room. You
Oh,
should
okay.
either listen to your video, listen to the video to
Oh, okay.
get instructions
Okay.
and follow the instructions to make a Google document, or on the KWL document, there are also, here, let me share my screen. I can show you. On the KWL document on page 2, there are some templates. If you want to look at some templates, you said you teach low level
Yeah, I
beginner
was
group.
just looking at that. Yeah, the beginner one. Yes. I
Yeah,
was looking at
so
that.
look at the beginner one, and if you want to copy at the moment, you can copy into a new Google presentation for yourself.
I have an idea though. I
yeah.
was working on some review activity for my class tomorrow. Maybe.
Yeah.
Can I show you something?
Sure.
Maybe I can work on that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was doing Google Slides, and maybe you can give me some feedback.
Sunju, I'm going to be back in 1 minute. Someone else needs
Sure.
small help. I'll be right back.
Oh.
Sorry. What do you need?
You didn't tell me which one to watch. I didn't hear which one to watch.
So you can watch anything you want.
Oh.
But this video here, let me give you the video again in, this is the video, Sue, of instructions for what to do if you want to follow. They're pretty simple instructions. But the other thing you can do is go to the KWL document, go down to the bottom, and at the bottom of the KWL document are links to different slideshows that you can take information from. Like if you're doing level 1, you might want to look at this Google slide presentation. So just up to you what you want to take a look at. Okay.
Okay.
I'm back, Sunju.
Okay. Okay, so let me share.
Oh, I probably disabled that. Yeah, give me 1 moment. Can you share?
Okay. Share screen. It's not working. It's disabled.
It's disabled. Here, try that one. Let me see if that works. Does that work?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, so this is what I was working on. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna split to 4 groups, and each group will go and do some work as a group. So some of them, this one may be difficult, this one may be easier. So
yes,
depending on their level, I would just put in easy group, difficult group, something like that. I just thinking on
Sunju, you know what I want to suggest to you? Let me just show you. I'm going to show you on, let's see if I can do this.